Welcome, friends. This is Yvonne Lembo with the Episcopal Church Foundation, and thanks for joining us for our next episode of Profiles in Generosity, where we share with you uplifting stories from inspiring people in our ECF support communities. And today I'm delighted that we have with us Johannas Asmussen, who is a member of All Angels Episcopal Church in Spearfish, South Dakota. Johannas was a teacher for 46 years, and then she was ordained as an Episcopal priest in 2011 on the Feast of St. Francis. So, Johannas, thank you so much for being with us today. And to get started, share with us a little bit about what is special to you about being an Episcopalian.
Oh, that's a great question. And thank you for having me on the program. I want to tell you a little story. Being a longtime teacher, I'm a storyteller. And before I was born and my mother was pregnant with me, my father was in Europe in World War II and was not in the picture physically in that sense. And my mother decided that it was important for children to have a faith community. So, being my mother, she set out to do a research. That's how she was. And so she went to different churches in her town. Her town was big enough that it had quite a few different ones. And she knew nothing about the Episcopal Church other than that it was at one of the corners and was named St. Mary's, and my mother's name is Mary. So off she went. But she chose many other churches too. And she visited, and her decision was that the Episcopal Church was the only church where she was asked to think. And that was really important to her. And also being a teacher herself, she said, teaching children to think is the most important job anyone has.
Yes.
And it is very important to think about God.
Yes.
And so we joined the Episcopal Church. I'm a cradle member, even more than a cradle, but can't go back to it. And that story has stuck with me my entire life. Mm-hmm. And I remember that. I have had many opportunities to go to other churches, and I have visited many. I have never been drawn to any because they just aren't the Episcopal Church for me.
Yes.
Liturgy is very important. I mean, I could tell you lots of things about it. In fact, there's almost a highlight a day. And I'm 81 years old, so that's a lot of highlights.
Wow. Wow. That is so inspiring, Johannas. And certainly Episcopal faith is known at one of the pillars being faith and reason.
Yep. And that's really, really important to me. Even beyond what it was important to my mother, independently as an adult is important to me. And I see evidence of it over and over in our beautiful liturgies, in our writing, in what we believe in, and our social justice. I mean, I can't begin to describe all the things I love about it. So I'll just let it go that I love it a lot. And it has certainly helped me over the years and helped me stay connected to God, which is
that's a wonderful witness of your Episcopal faith. Thank you for sharing that with us, Johannas. Now, my next question is, why have you chosen to support the Episcopal Church Foundation?
Well, I will again go back to my mother. She's pretty much a pillar in my life. But it was always her philosophy that we needed to give back what we could, when we could. And so I have done that in some forms. Not as much as I would like to have or maybe should have, but I have done it some. And what I have chosen to do is to generally support things that I know. I know there are many wonderful national organizations. I know that I can't support them all. My choice of ECF kind of has to do with its name. E is Episcopal. And I know that's a place where I'm going to have thinking. I know that there will be discerning people of different viewpoints. I know our tent is big, and I think it's important that more voices than just one group is heard. I know that's going to happen in Episcopal things. So the Episcopal part, I think that is pretty important. The C is church. And I can't imagine anything more important than God. I think of church taking me to God. I don't think church as God, but church taking me to God. And I know that it is God-centered.
Yes.
That they listen for God's voice and for direction of the Holy Spirit. I know that because I know some of the people who work in that area or support that. And so that's another thing, another reason that I support ECF. F is it's a foundation. We need foundational things. We need to have stability. And foundation to me says stability. And I know that the Episcopal Church and the Episcopal Church Foundation is a social justice mission. And social justice is very, very important to my heart, both religiously and civilly. We have to do both. My baptismal covenant says, I will take care of my neighbors and those who have less. And what a more beautiful way to do it than with ECF.
Well, thank you so much, Johannas, for that vote of confidence and those words of support for ECF. And friends, we are so grateful that for the past 75 years, God has faithfully worked through the Episcopal Church Foundation to strengthen faith and to transform ministries. And your support of ECF contributes to God's own ongoing work. And so we are so grateful for your generous gifts and your prayers for ECF's ministry. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you for being with us, Johannas, and we'll see you next time.